Alright, so I am just filming this before I get too far. I went shopping today. I got two different Caron cinnamon swirl cakes. This one is Green Flash. This one is Berry Ripple. I knew it was berry something. But starting with the berry, I have just a little itty bitty bit started. I have 5 skeins of each. They're each about 400 yards. That should be plenty for me to make a hexagon cardigan with. But yeah, I'm just I had to go to Michael's to get embroidery thread. Like there's like 9,000 shades of blue and like 6 shades of purple embroidery thread, specifically DMC embroidery thread, and I need you bitches to get your shit together and give me better options for purple. Why do I have 6 options for purple? It's not working for me. But I had this stuff and I had like a 20% off coupon, which isn't like the bestest ever, but you know, I had it, might as well use that, right? And yeah, I saw Passionate Kelsey was working on a hexagon cardigan, and it was not this specific brand of Caron cake, but it was a similar one, and like it had similar sunsetty colors to this one. I think it had more vibrant oranges in it, but yeah, I saw that video and I was like, I want to make a cardigan with those colors. I saw this yarn. This is not a good representation because there's like really nice dark purple and darker orange in there. But yeah, just that's the plan. I'm gonna make a couple hexagon cardigans. I'll finish that top down raglan sweater eventually. I don't know. It's just some projects get cursed into the bin of I work on this when I have nothing else to work on, and then as I'm working on it, I find inspiration to work on other things, and it goes back in the bin. It'll be done one day. One day. Yeah. I was doing so good. I I have 5 skeins of this yarn, right? And like I did the first half, did the first skein, and then I did the second skein, and I was like, oh, I have enough yarn. It's gonna be good. And I have enough yarn, and it is gonna be good, but I still fucked up. So this is the first half. And I have the yarn here for one more row. Which I'm not doing yet because I'm going to connect it to the other one because I had both halves totally done, completely finished. But show you this one first. So you know, I did the shoulder seam here where everything meets together real nice, and then I got to here, and I added 5 more rows on, and then here. This is still the shoulder seam. It's just open because I'm going to make it a hoodie or like a pullover instead of cardigan. That's the space for my head and neck. But when I did this, like I have the seam here, and then you have like where I started the extra 5, I worked into the corner stitches here of what used to be the hexagons, the corners of the hexagon. So for the first row, you have 2, and then you have 1 in the middle, and then you have 2, and then you have 1 in the middle. So I wanted the split to be in that space over this middle cluster, is what I did here. And then for the, this is the side. For the front side here, I have like a nice little, you know, coming down here so that I don't like things up on my neck. And like I added that hoodie to that granny square sweater I made. But prior to adding that hoodie, I did not like the neckline on that one either. So this is my way around just having that square I just, it doesn't do much for me. But it's super cute. And then I did the second side, and I had the 8 extra rows where the gap is. I had that done. Except for the part where it was supposed to be in this one, and I put it in this one. Which means the front and the back didn't line up when I went to attach them. So I had to frog it all and start over. But so this is, up here. I'm wondering where my stitch marker was. Here's my stitch marker. Here's where it should have been, or where it was. So this one has like a more so yeah, up to the dark purple here is the original hexagon that I seamed together. I'm sorry, my entire brain just blanked out. So up to here is where I stitched it together. And I don't know what happened, but I put it in the wrong spot. I was off by one. And so when I went to sew it together, it did not sew together. But I still have an entire skein. So guess what? It's getting a hood and it's getting a pocket. And then I'm going to do it again in the green. And I'm so stoked. I really have enjoyed the texture of this yarn. And I'm using a 5.5 hook. I usually use like a 4.5 or 5 when I make these. So like it's just a little bigger, it's just a little looser, which just helps, like, makes the fabric that you end up with more loosey goosey. Has more flow. But yeah, so that's that. And then obviously this one's itty bitty baby because it doesn't backwards. That's that side. And that's that side. So yeah. It's Sunday, by the way. I got this yarn on Friday. I have flown through this project. Which is why it's not like the biggest deal that I fucked up. It's just personally annoying. It's just like on a personal level, I'm like, why didn't you check that before you did the 8 rows? Why would you do this to yourself? Why do we make ourselves suffer in this manner? And the answer is because I thought I had it on the right spot. And it was not until the point at which I needed to connect it that I realized, in fact, it was not correct at all. So yeah, I honestly, I think I'm going to do the exact same thing with the green yarn. Like, pullover, hood, pocket. Wow. Words. It's not my friend right now. But yeah, that is the plan on that. Alright. Hello. It is Monday morning. Well, it's 11:22. The morning? Midday? Whatever. I fucked up again. So, I had this entire 8 rows redone. We were good. We were beautiful. This is the front where I am swooping it out a little bit to make sure I have room for the neck. And this purple right here needs to be a cluster. I didn't do a cluster. I just did a little double crochet and moved on to the next row. So now, I didn't have to rip out all 8 rows this time. I ripped out 6 of 8, which is better than 8 of 8, but it's still not what one seeks in life. So, this is the rub of, I'm sure every garment maker ever will confirm this. Making things is not the problem. Making 2 things is not the problem. Making 2 things that are the same is a problem. And like, I had the other side laid out. I was looking at it as I was going. It was great. It was good. And then I got it. The where the yarn ends is on the back. So as far as attaching it goes. It starts in the back, and this problem is on the front. Meaning I have like 3 clusters left and only 2 spaces to connect them. And it's like, and rip all of this out again. And I did it, and I survived. But don't be me. Do better than me. On another note, my mom and I went back to Michael's, which was the plan. It was always the plan. We were going back to Michael's today. And she got many yarns. I also got some yarn. And last spring maybe, or the spring before, it's part of their like spring collection. Michael's had these wooden pieces that you hang on the wall, and it's just like the top of like the gothic stained glass looking shit. So I ordered that, and then they had another one that was like a butterfly, which was stupid, and I didn't want because it's not, I wanted the actual gothic looking shit. And what they sent me in the mail was not the actual gothic looking shit, it was the butterfly shit. And I assume they ran out and they were like, this is good enough. And I disagreed vehemently, so I returned it. So we walk into Michael's today, and they have precisely one of the gothic-y things, which is also the same way I got the like Halloween cauldron with the little frogs on the base and like the stars and moon all over it. It like came out. It was, I think it was during or right after the pandemic, that Halloween, and like everybody online was going nuts for it, and I couldn't find it, and I was like, whatever, I'll live. Except I didn't, because I kept thinking about it for that next year and the year after that, which like every other year, Michael's was like, we've had this shit in the warehouse for 2 years, just put it out there and get rid of it. People will want this, right? And I am people, and yes, I do. I want the things from 2 years ago that I wasn't able to get 2 years ago. So I have the froggy cauldron, and I have my gothic thing, which is now out on my gallery wall. Yeah, I'm gonna finish up the side and show you the yarns I got. I got 3 cakes of each color, but I'm obviously gonna show you one color. And I think I'm gonna do a ripple blanket with it, maybe. Feeling like a ripple blanket. I really like it's really soft yarn, so I think it's good for a blanket. That means I should probably actually finish a rainbow blanket first, but it's what the whip basket's for, right? It's like, there's always something in there. But just crank out this last little granny square here, granny cluster, what have you. And yeah, chain 3, so we can turn. And then we set it aside. Okay. So these are funfetti cakes. I've got this color, which like it's blue. I love me the truly saturated blue. This is Blue Refresh, and yeah, no, this yarn I like the way it feels. It's 66% acrylic, 34% polyester. Excuse me. 4-weight yarn, but yeah, love the way this feels. And the other 2 colors, I've got this guy, which they're good colors, guys. This is aqua. I would call this more teal than aqua. Like aqua to me is more on the blue end, and teal is more on the green end. I feel like this is greener rather than bluer. And then the third color is actually just a green. It's this one, and it is basil. But yeah, same. All of them are funfetti cakes. I got 3 of each, and I'm feeling like a ripple blanket. But yeah, just I love the way this stuff feels. It's so good. It's a good, like you have I'm autistic. I have good textures, I have bad textures. This is a good texture. The Caron cloud cakes that were out a couple years ago, I know some people love them, and I'm happy for those people, and there's more for them in the world than there is for me, because my mom made a blanket out of that stuff, and I cannot touch it. It's like, you ever see videos of people where they like bite into a cattail and it explodes in their mouth and it's all that fluff, and you can imagine what it'd be like to have all of that in your mouth. That's how that cloud cake feels for me. And I know that makes no goddamn sense, but I digress. Those are the yarns I've acquired, and they're just gonna stay in their bag because I don't have anywhere to put them. I'm gonna finish these 8 rounds for the 3rd time, and then attach this, and then show you. Hopefully. Alright. Alright, as you can see, I have finished the sweater. Got a nice pocket on here. I will count that up and tell you exactly what I did in the description. Got the hood on. As always, my hoodies, I just do the Passionate Kelsey method for the granny square hoodies, and I just try it on until it fits the way I like. I would love to be more helpful with that information, but I can't be. My usual front post, back post, alternating double crochets for my ribbing. The cuffs and the bottom ribbing are 5 rows each. And as far as the yarn I used, this is what I have left. This is about half a cake, and then these 2 little balls. So 4.5 cakes for me. And then I have started this green one, and these colors are just amazing. I am really loving them. So that is the progress thus far. And again, this is the Caron cinnamon swirl cakes and the color Berry Ripple. So yeah, that's how that turned out. It is like, I tried it on before I put on the pocket, and it fit me in like I could have a couple layers on and then put that on top and it would still be good. But like, it's also comfortable if I'm just wearing like a tank top like I am right now. Excuse my mic cord. But yeah, that is the update on that. And again, I'm not trying it on because I'm alright. So I told you I would give you more updates this time around, and then I have failed to do so because I've been playing Dragon Age the Veilguard for like the 5th time, and then just working on this during the cutscenes. So as you can see, I have finished the arm, and just my usual ribbing, alternating front post, back post, double crochets. And now I'm making the body bigger because that ain't gonna cut it. So I just started my 2nd skein of yarn. And just I have a hot mess going on. Is what I have going on. But yeah, that's just the progress on that. All right. Shit's a mess right now. Just I'm doing my best, but we're having our entire house refloored. Long story. Our house got destroyed. Not destroyed, but it rained inside during Hurricane Ian. So we had to have a bunch of work done. When they did our floors, they did a shitty fucking job. So now they're redoing them the right way. Which means we have to pack up everything in our house and just play musical chairs with all of our things. So I've not been crocheting because I've been doing that. So this is still only the first side. I just finished adding onto the body rounds. So now I am starting to add onto the back, and I know. So microphone darker? So I have decided that this one's going to be a cardigan. I'm just going to make it as long as I can, so I have as minimal leftover yarn as I can. But this is the progress thus far. This is, I've added 8 rounds from so added 8 rounds here. And now I'm just adding onto the back. Because I think when I make the other one, if I'm going to add 5 rows onto the back, I'm going to start the other half, I'm going to do the other half, and add 5 rows on the back, that, and together, and we'll see where we're at. Because I'd rather do it and have to rip out a row than be like, oh no, I gotta add a bunch. Because that's just how I am. Alright, hello. So I am doing a voiceover because I recorded this outside. When I recorded this outside, I forgot that my microphone and the wind, it just doesn't work. So if I record outside, I just have to use the microphone in my phone. And I didn't do that. So voiceover me it is. So in this clip, I am just going to summarize what I talked about. So, as I show you, I have both sides of the cardigan put together, and I am starting on the hood, which is that little collar piece that you can see at the top. And I use Passionate Kelsey's Granny Hexagon hood tutorial to do my hoods, or her method, whatever. I've linked it before. I'll link it again for you guys. I, at this point, had a whole skein of this yarn left, plus like a half a skein left over from each side I did, and I think I used one of those to do the hood, essentially. So the plan was that I was going to make pockets, and I usually just do granny squares for pockets on these hexagon cardigans, and I'll do like at least 5 rounds, I think. I like my pocket to be big enough to fit my phone, and I have a Samsung Galaxy 22, so it's, you know, obnoxiously large like every other phone, and I gotta fit it in my pocket. So I need a pocket that it fits in. So I do a granny square, and then I do just the same ribbing along one side as I use to do the ribbing on the rest of the cardigan. So I used pretty much the intact skein to add a bunch of length to the cardigan, and then I did the ribbing and the cuffs with the goal to be as efficient as possible and use as much of the yarn as possible. And then the leftovers I will be adding into my scraps that I'm making the like stained glass window squares with. And the whole reason I'm outside and like watching these clips now, I think that this video is actually okay. But I remember as I was recording them, I just felt very flustered and very like it was chaos. I felt like it was chaos, and so like mentally I was just very overwhelmed. So I felt like these videos and like these clips rather, and this video as a whole is just I felt overwhelmed the whole time. I felt like I wasn't making good progress. I wasn't making good content. I wasn't checking in, and like as I was loading these into the software to edit it together, I was like, I have so many more clips than I remember recording. So I did better than I thought I did, but I just remember feeling like during the whole process of filming this video that everything was going horribly wrong. I apologize if you can hear the neighbor's new roof being installed. So last night I finished both these pockets, and I'm now going to start adding length to the cardigan, and as I do that, I will attach the bottom of the pockets as well. So yeah, that's where we're starting today. All right, as you can see, I have finished cardigan. Honestly, if I were to do this again, I would put these pockets down a little bit, but I think it'll be okay. I can't be tall enough to show you how long this is, I'm afraid. These are our new floors, as you can see. And the old ones, if you'll remember, were like very white and gray. And these ones are so much nicer, so much warmer, and like levels were involved. The floor was flat and even, and shit was done right this time. I don't know why it wasn't done right the first fucking time, but here we are. But I have finished this. I am very happy with how it turned out. I'm very happy with the hood. And yeah, uh, it's done. It's got pockets. Here is an entire thing of my eczema lotion gone in my pocket. And these are just granny squares. And I put like the same ribbing on top of them. And then both here and here, they were crocheted in, although I did sew the in-between spaces together as well as this just from the tail. So that is this green cardigan all done. This video ended up being very, very much not much. And that's just because of all the house stuff we have going on, and I apologize for that. But I have a cardigan, and like this thing has some decent heft to it. Like there's some good weight here. I am gonna add buttons. I think I have just some like wooden toggle buttons that I think would look cute on here, but those are not currently accessible. So that is this. There might be another cardigan in this video, there might not be. We'll see what happens. But if this is the last cardigan, thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, you know, do the YouTube things if you feel like it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Alright, so I have half a cardigan. And it both is and is not a granny square hexagon cardigan. But this is this stuff, the Super Saver stripes in retro stripe. And this is called the block or the brick stitch, but it's very similar enough to a granny square, granny stitch, that I can make a hexagon cardigan with it. And go to this piece, I can put it closer and show you how this stitch actually works. So on your rows where you're doing, in this case, black, these are the normal granny clusters. You know, 3 double crochets in the corners. You've got 3 double crochets with the chain 1 between them. But instead of doing granny clusters every row, this row is just a single crochet and a chain 3 and a single crochet and a chain 3. And in the corners, you just single crochet in there twice, make a loop for your corners to go into. And when you're doing your granny clusters, you just work around the chain 3s. And other than that, I've been making it exactly like every other hexagon cardigan I've ever made. I will have linked for you guys video tutorial on how to do this for Hexagon cardigan, just because even though I like read the stitch and kind of figured I could do it, I looked up a video anyway, just because sometimes that's what my brain needs for it to click, is to watch somebody do it. So, the start of these, here, I did the chain 4 slip stitch together, just because I find them to hold a little sturdier than a magic ring. It's less likely to come undone. But so you'll do that. You do your 6 granny clusters, and then you start with your other yarn. Just make loops. You do the single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, and then chain 3, single crochet, 3 single crochet. So essentially, instead of having your alternating row be just another row of the granny stitch, like in this one, we're starting from the armpit. You start the same way. You've got your 6 single crochets, and then you make your corners. But instead of making these corners with more granny stitches, in this one, you're using single crochets and chain 3s. And then when you work over the chains, all you can see is the single crochets. It's, like I said, it's called the block stitch or the brick stitch. Specifically, this is the 2-color version. I do have it here in my book. 2-color brick stitch. As you can see, we've got single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, and then work double crochets over it. And yeah, that's the current thing. Still working on getting my room back together. You can't tell by the nothing else being in this room and the sound probably being a little echoey. We are making progress. So that is the update I have for you on that. And my only concern is this is the black. It's going to be enough. Because I have another ball, but it's currently ensconced in this blanket, which I am mulling over whether I like it enough to keep it or if I'm going to rip it out again. Indecisiveness. But yeah, just was like, I should film an update before I skip this. So I am on the 7th round of the black, and I did 10 rounds for the other. So that's where we are with that. Alright, so as you can see, it actually looks like a cardigan. I'm about to do the other row of black on this side, and I will, as I do each cluster, I will slip stitch into these gaps, essentially where the single crochet would go if this were another line. And that's how I did the top of the arms. I probably could have done a way, figured out how to do it and include the color, but when I did the first sleeve, that was way more thought than I was willing to put into it at the time. So that's what they look like now. And I might as well just stay consistent, I figure. But yeah, this side came out. We're not gonna talk about that, okay? Just cover that up. But so this is what this is looking like. Also, I have my frond here. Say hello to everyone, Tinder. Say hi, Tinder. You're such a dumbass. And he is sitting here because he was sitting on my project. But that's not very helpful if I'm doing it. Now he's a silly boy. No. So yeah. I know how to operate a camera. No, I don't. Also, doesn't this so lovely match my nightstands that I use as my TV stand? Yeah. Just me and my neons. But I'm gonna do this, and I think because this is the second skein of this, I think once I get the backs together, I'm gonna try it on because I think I want to add more length. So I might just add length until I run out of that and call it good. And because I got plenty of black, and like untwisting these from each other is why that exists, and I just haven't been in the mood to deal with it yet. So that's that. That's my update. I do have my room back together. All right, so as you can see, I have finished the cardigan. It's all done. I did this ribbing the same way I did the cuffs, which was just my normal front post, back post, double crochets. I don't know if you can see. See, that one's the back post. But over each row, I would do one round of single crochet. So I did the same thing here. And then these are the buttons I plan to add. They're very fun and sparkly, but they are not very big. You can barely see that. They're not very big, but I really like them, so I'm gonna add them. As you can see, whoops, there goes the button. I have not redone this, and I don't think I will be, because I'm gonna leave this as space for more cardigans, because this one will fill up the other area I have elected to put my cardigans in. Let's see if I can. I have cardigans up there, cardigans up there. The one I am wearing will fit right here. And then all of that will be space for more. And all of that yarn is going to be going out into our craft room. But yeah, I'm gonna set this up, and let's pin out some buttons, why don't we? now that that joyousness is done, this is the finished product. And if I zoom in, you'll see that one goes sideways and that one goes up and down. And that's sideways. And then I gotta glue this one back on. That'll go up and down. All the way up. But yeah, I'm sorry this video was such a disjointed mess. But having to completely disassemble everything I own and move it into the middle of the house kind of really threw me off my game. So, this is the final project of this video, and, yeah, I assume you guys enjoy because you keep watching my videos, and I feel like all of my videos are disjointed messes, so maybe that's what you're here for, but, enjoy.